Welcome back, everybody. Carolina Keith again here with you. Good to see you all. So we've gone through a few different things. I just showed you moving averages and exponential moving averages. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some confluence indicators. We even mentioned confluence a little in the last video. Let's talk about them. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you is very simple. Again, a confluence indicator, meaning you shouldn't really rely on this a ton. You should use it with others to kind of make a better decision. All right. This one is called the moving average convergence divergence, or MACD, M-A-C-D. Now, let's have a look at it on the chart. First, let's show you how we add that. We go to indicators right up here like we have been. Click on indicators, type in MACD, M-A-C-D, moving average convergence divergence. Put a little star beside it so you don't lose it. I've already got it pulled up on the screen. I'm going to make it maximum size. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a little button right here that says maximum pane. Click it. There we go. Now we have nothing but the MACD on the chart. There are a few parts to the MACD. Let's talk about those next. Now, no reason to overcomplicate this, okay? A few parts. Let's break it down one piece at a time. I've got the settings pulled up here by clicking on the little settings gear right here. All right, I'm not going to change anything in here. I'm going to change no colors or anything. I'm going to leave it exactly like it is so we can see it all, okay? First thing I'm going to do is remove some of these pieces just so we can take this one step at a time. We have two lines on the screen. Both of them are moving averages, and I showed you moving averages in the last video. Now we're going to use a little bit of strategy with them, only built into an indicator, all right? So the blue line is our actual MACD line. Our orange line is our signal line. Really, what I like to call this is the blue and orange a trigger and a signal. The blue line is the trigger. Orange line is the signal. When we, very simple here, when we have the blue line cross over the orange, bueno. When we have it cross under the orange line, that's no good. That is the first simple principle of this indicator. All right, cool. This is the histogram. I just simply clicked the settings bar and took the other ones off and left the histogram on. All right, very simple here. Green is good, red is bad. When we have dark green, as you see through here, these dark green lines that you see right here, these bars represent more buyers than the period before. I'm on a weekly chart right here. All right, so this is every week. So this is week after week after week after week. I had more buyers than the week before. Thus, my histogram shows up. Very simple. Same thing on the way down, all right? If we have a light green, that means we still have buyers, just less than the period before. This can show us a sign of weakness, all right? As you see there on the chart, it's getting weaker. Once it crosses the next most important area, which is this midline right here, all right, right between the two, between the red and the green. This is more bullish. This is more bearish. All right, pretty much it, pretty simple. I'm going to put all the parts back on the screen and we'll use it in conjunction with the chart now to show you what I mean. Now comes the name of the indicator, divergence, convergence. In general, convergence means to come together and divergence means to move apart. All right. That's important because when we see the blue, which is the trigger line, move far away from the orange, when we see that, that tells us that's divergence and it's not likely to last long. Just take a look back at this indicator and look how closely the blue and orange line stay together. When they get far apart, as you see here, it's likely that the chart may be reversing. Likewise, on the way down, when you see the lines get far apart from each other, it's likely that the chart may reverse. And we use this in conjunction with the chart, which I'll show you in a minute, but first, I'll show you the rest of these parts. All right, cool. I've got the XRP chart pulled up that we've been using a lot. I just used Poloniex this time because I had drawings on the other ones. I didn't want to erase them. So if we look here, we had a MACD that was slowly building up and building up and building up and building up. Right about, I'll draw a vertical line for you, right about here, the divergence or separation on the MACD was very wide. Do you see that between the blue and the orange? You had a lot of separation there. That A lot of separation could potentially signal that we have a top area coming in. Again, this is not a end-all be-all indicator. It's more for confluence. We'll use what we already have and we'll add this in to help us make our decision. All right. Sure enough, we had a top formation right here, and this ended up being the top of the bull market for this particular asset. All right. As you see, it worked pretty darn well. Then we had a similar move here where we had a lot of divergence between the two lines. All right. Sure enough, what do we have? A bottom come in. Not the perfect bottom, but a lower area that we potentially could have bought and rode back up because we had a lot of divergence on our MACD. Fairly simple, fairly easy to read, not too complicated. Now, what about that midline? That's also important. Once we drop below this midline, we should no longer be focusing on hurrying up and buying anything. We should be more careful here and note that we're in bearish territory, and since we've crossed over right here, which happens to be right here on this chart, now that we've crossed over bearish, look what happens after. A big fall off to the tune of about, let's go for the average there, about 60% down. So you would have lost 60% of your money had you stayed in here. This indicator would have helped you get out and stay out until the time was right. Now, obviously down here, you can always just hit Control Z if you really want to on TradingView to back out when you think you messed something up. Just hit Control Z. It'll back you back out right here. What do we have? We had some divergence, right? We had some separation. Then we had a crossover. Beautiful convergence. Our trigger line has now jumped over our signal line. Blue has crossed over orange. And hey, we have potentially found a bottom formation. Look where it was, right here. All right, and then afterwards, up we go. How long do we stay up? Well, let's pull it up and look. This chart continued to run all the way until right over here. All right, so let's go look at the MACD and see where that line ended up. Aha. Look there. Just as you know it, divergence was forming, and sure enough, this indicator was telling you, hey, you know, things are getting a little hot over here. I'm not sure how long this can keep up. Now, is this indicator perfect? No, it is not perfect. Again, it is a confluence indicator. It simply helps you find the better spots overall, and especially including trend identification and that type of thing. You can use these indicators to help you see that if you have a hard time drawing them on the chart, right? That's it. Very simple indicator. Like I said, this isn't that complicated. We can keep it simple and keep it easy. See you guys on the next video. We'll go over a slightly different indicator, but kind of the same. See you then. Peace.